just the community itself, seeing total strangers come to your office and bringing stuff and saying, this is an awesome idea. We love what you are doing. Keep it up.
Mandates and lockdowns have been bad for society for so long. They need to go. When they go, we'll go.
So I'm going into the courthouse here this morning to turn myself in, and then after that I believe I'll be getting my fingers printed and seeing where this goes.
So hey, Alexa for Urban News, and I'm currently in front of Ottawa Courthouse and a land registry offices. Why I'm here? You probably remember the story of Harold Jonker. His story was completely insane. He was involved in the Freedom Convoy that happened here in Ottawa in February 2022.
What's happening?
That's not the one I drove. That's one of my trucks.
Where's your truck?
My truck is at a yard.
Right.
But we got trucks down.
But you were the first truck here.
Yes.
Not this one.
He was following me.
Right.
But yeah, I was the first truck in.
What do we got going on over here?
Oh, they're serving breakfast.
Almost a year and a half from now. For the people who don't know what is the Freedom Convoy, it was a lot of truck driver and their supporter who came down in Ottawa to take their ride back and ask the government to lift all the mandate relating to the pandemic and the vaccination. This Freedom Convoy did finish badly by a dismantling with the police. But we are here today because almost a year after the Freedom Convoy, Harold Jonker received 4 charges and mischief against him for his involvement in this convoy.
Mandates and lockdowns have been bad for society for so long. They need to go. When they go, we'll go.
You need to know that Harold Jonker is the owner of Jonker Trucking Company, but also he was a city councillor for the West Lincoln. He received also a punishment from the city because all the good he received when he was in Ottawa, he needed to give it back to the community. Today, we are here because not only last week he received a warrant of arrest against him for the charges and mischief he received, but today he's here because he needed to be in person for not only the fingerprint, but also to open the file for the hearing that's coming up for the charges and mischief he received. Mischief, obstruct property, 1 count of intimidation by blocking up or obstructing highway, and 2 count of conceal and uncommitted and indictable offense.
A week and a half ago, I was called by Niagara Regional Police that I had to turn myself into them. I was in BC, so they had to wait for me to fly home for the weekend. I turned myself in and found out that I was charged with 4 criminal charges with my involvement and leadership with the Freedom Convoy. I think everybody knows that I was the Niagara's captain coming in here to Ottawa, almost 15 months ago. To kind of come back to the city here to face some charges is what I'm doing here today. So not exactly sure what's happening today in court. The lawyer for the JCCF, they got a lawyer here that's going to meet me and represent me today, and then we'll see from there. I don't have any bail conditions per se, other than just so far, let us know if your address changes. The lawyers don't think there's going to be any other bail conditions placed on me, but you never know with how this crazy last few years have gone, right? So even the lawyers I don't want to say, they don't want to tell me what they think because they don't really know. Mm-hmm. But so I'm going into the courthouse here this morning to turn myself in, and then after that I believe I'll be getting my fingers printed and seeing where this goes. I think that's what's surprising everybody, right? That for 3 weeks we had a peaceful, lawful protest. February 7th and February 14th, 2 judges, the Supreme Court of Ontario, 2 judges deemed it a lawful protest. Even on February 14th, we were working with police still, moving vehicles around us to to try to park them in better places and whatever. And then all of a sudden, yeah, the Emergency Act was carried out pretty brutally. And then we went home, and all of a sudden, 14 months later, it wasn't a shock, bit of a surprise maybe. What we're facing in our society is a power that is always worked with deception, lies, and you know, I'm a Christian, and you know that there's two powers at work, and the devil is definitely working at intimidation, fear, and yet we're called to speak the truth and bring hope and joy to our neighbors, to our country, and that's what it seems like they're trying to do, intimidate everyone into being silent.
I'm here today to support Mr. Jonker because he came here with absolute intentions to help Canadians and to help Canadians understand what was happening to them during the convoy, the harm that the lockdowns did, the harm that the so-called vaccines were doing, the harm that was done to everyday salt of the earth Canadians, and how we were being manipulated, lied to, you name it. Everything that was wrong was what Harold and his fellow convoy supporters and friends were trying to do. They were trying to rescue us from ourselves because most of us couldn't even see what was happening.
Because he's been an inspiration and such a brave person to show us the way and to keep our moral compass going forward. So thank you very much.
We live in a world where this kind of selective enforcement and abuse of discretion is obvious corruption, and it's injustice. And so injustice against one is an injustice against all. And so I'm with him. He's my brother, and we all need to stand together. As long as they can persecute people because they don't like their ideas, then we're all in danger. And so I'm here because I take this personally. I feel like when can they do this to me? And so I'm here to support him all the way through to the end.
When I saw what Harold did, I recognized right away, it was pretty obvious that what he was doing, he wasn't doing it for himself, he was doing it for the country. And now it's our turn to put our foot forward and stand with him as he stood with us. I think he knew he was putting his future and his life and his business at risk, and his family, his income for sure. And now they've charged him, and I think he's going to beat this. And we want to let him know right from the very get-go. I mean, I knew he would probably, maybe 15, 20 minutes is all it would be today. But still, we came all the way from Burlington, 5 hours drive, my daughter and I, to be here and to support him and let him know, Harold, we're with you. And you know what, Alex? By doing that, we're telling everybody else, all the other guys, all the other women that are being charged wrongfully, that we're with you too. I can't be there for all of them, but if I'm here for Harold, I hope everybody else that's being charged and shows up also realizes that we stand with you just as much, even though we're not there.
So don't forget, if you want to support our journalists, you can do so by donating generously at rebelfieldreport.com. It's really important. It's because of you guys that we can continue our journalism. Thanks.